Tyler from Aspire Sports, and let's talk Marquez Callaway. Marquez Callaway, Saints wide receiver. He appears to be the wide receiver #1 for this team. Had himself a night last night, and yes, it's only preseason, but had himself a night. 5 catches, over 100 yards, and 2 touchdowns. Him and Jameis Winston both looked very, very good, and he looks to be Jameis Winston's go-to guy. Marquez Callaway is. So, now that this breakout game happened and kind of people have been coming around to Marquez Callaway for a little bit here, where should he be drafted now that his ADP is going to absolutely skyrocket? So first, real quick, I just want to show you why you should subscribe to the channel. Why you need to subscribe, and I'm not trying to do a victory lap here because Marquez Callaway needs to prove himself in the regular season. He's looked very good so far in the preseason, though, and I believe it's going to carry over into the regular season. But real quick, I just want to show you that back on August 7th, I've talked about Marquez Callaway, why you should draft him. A month, prior to this, about a month ago, I talked about Traquan Smith and Marquez Callaway. I want one of these guys because Jameis Winston will be the starting quarterback for this team. He gives them the best chance to win, and one of these guys is going to pop, and it ended up being Marquez Callaway, and I saw that Marquez Callaway was starting to be the guy, so I talked about it there. I mentioned him back on August 18th that you should be drafting him. I thought Traquan Smith was, but it ends up being Marquez Callaway, a must draft at his price. And then I made a wide receiver sleeper video back on August 19th, 4 days ago, and why you need to be drafting Marquez Callaway. So once again, I'm not trying to do a victory lap here, but you should subscribe. That way I can help you win your fantasy football leagues. I put in a ton of time and effort to help you guys win your fantasy football leagues. And now let's talk about Marquez Callaway and where he needs to be drafted. Currently, he's being drafted as wide receiver number 71 in your best ball drafts, which, I mean, he's absolutely going to fly up the boards now. And I believe he's going to probably top off around wide receiver 30, high, back end wide receiver number 30 range. High upside wide receiver number 40, probably in the range of Laviska Shenault, Michael Gallup, probably Marvin Jones in this range. Brandon Cooks is where he's going to go. Me personally, I would want him over a lot of these guys. Honestly, to me, he's a borderline wide receiver number 30 because he's the wide receiver number 1 on a team that's going to be good. This team is going to be good. A lot of people think, oh, Drew Brees is gone. Drew Brees has been an absolute shell of himself now for the past couple of years. It's not like Drew Brees has been that good, all right? Now we have Jameis Winston. Jameis Winston is a guy who finishes a top three fantasy wide receiver. Now, sure, he had a lot of interceptions that year. That team was not very good. They had to play from behind a lot because that defense was historically bad. Their pass defense was historically bad that season. Now he goes to a situation where it looks like Jameis Winston is taking this very seriously. And we can make fun of his pregame rituals or his offseason stuff that he's doing. But a lot of this stuff is meaningful quarterback work, and he's gotten himself in very, very good shape. If you've seen him lately, the guy is completely different than what he used to be. He's buying in. He wants to be the starting quarterback for this team. This is a guy who is a first overall draft pick. Used to be back, I don't know what the year was, but was the first overall pick, okay? So the pedigree is there. The talent is there. The arm talent is there for Jameis Winston. Now he just needs to prove himself in a very, very good system with Sean Payton, and I believe he does that. His go-to guy is going to be Marquez Callaway, so you need to be drafting the number 1 wide receiver in the Saints offense. Yes, Michael Thomas could come back, but Michael Thomas is not going to be 100% this upcoming season, and there's a real chance Michael Thomas doesn't come back, although I do think he was watching that game last night, and he was probably like, my gosh, I need to come back to this team because it looks like they're going to be just fine without me. So I believe that we might see Michael Thomas this upcoming season, but there is a chance that we don't see Michael Thomas. So regardless if we see him or not, I still love Marquez Callaway. For me, he's a borderline top 30 wide receivers. I need to readjust this, but he's very close to being inside the top 30 for me. Very, very close. And where I've really been looking at him is wide receiver number 29, 28 range. Ahead of Juju Smith-Schuster, ahead of Kenny Golladay is where I like him. So Marquez Callaway is somebody that you need to be drafting in your fantasy football leagues. That's going to help you win your fantasy football drafts or your leagues. You should draft him, and he's going to help you win your leagues. So with that being said, thank you for watching the video. If you enjoyed this content, please leave me a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. We'd really appreciate it. Thanks and have a great day.